Today is gonna be the most important chess opening video that I made on this channel until now. I'm gonna show you how to crush people who play the London against you, this kind of systems. I remember when I was a kid, my first rating in classical was 1270. And I remember my worst results were against this opening. So I went to a trainer, a grandmaster at the time, French grandmaster called Éloi Rollange, and I asked him, can you help me with the King's Indian? He was having amazing results. Against like people like Korchnoi, for instance. So we trained and I worked hard on it. And today I'm gonna give you everything I know about these variations. When your opponent plays d4, you're always gonna put the knight on f6. I'm pretty sure that if you play chess online, you see this so much. And that's why, everybody is just repeating the same moves. Usually they just pre-move them. If your opponent plays bishop d3, as you can see is an accuracy, it's not the best move, but a lot of people already will make this mistake against you. If you play even like at 1500, 1600, 1700, I see people making this kind of mistakes. The reason being that you're just gonna castle. The moves that white play are like kind of automatic. They always do the same thing. They put a bishop here, a knight here. This knight is gonna come on d2, and then they castle, and then they ask life about what plan to play next. So here, what you want to play is with this kind of counter-attack in the center. The first move you're gonna play, you're gonna put the knight on c6. He's gonna play his move, and now you push in the center already. It's hard to believe, but you can already push, and you're telling me, okay, what is why? He's attacking it 3 times. Yes, he does. But if he takes, the game is already over. Trust me, in your games, a lot of people will do it. And you're gonna win like this. They're not gonna understand that when you take with the pawn, you're attacking this piece, and now the queen, sorry about this very ugly arrow, the queen is also attacking this, which is a double attack, and the guy cannot defend both. Even if he takes, you take, the bishop takes, and at the end of the variation, you pick up the bishop, and you ask your friend, okay, can we play the next game? Because it's a waste of time. But they're not gonna resign. There is this thing online, they're just gonna keep playing. They're never gonna resign. So if they're better players, they're gonna play bishop g5 because they want to pin this against the queen. And now you're gonna attack the bishop, they retreat, and now you put the queen on e7. And the reason why this move order wasn't good to put the bishop here is because you have this kind of themes. Not right now, not right now. Because if you push right now, the knight is able to take, because the knight cannot take because there is a pin on the queen. But this is how you want to be playing. Usually they need to take here in the center, and if they do, you always take back with the pawn. There's absolutely no point taking with the knight and exchanging pieces. You take back with the pawn, and you open this amazing d file, which means the rook is going to come here, and then you're going to be able to push one day. This is what you want to be playing. If people play this, and a lot of people, whenever they see a pin and they can double pin you, not double pin you, but you see what I mean, when they can increase the pressure on this knight because it's pinned, they're gonna do it. But here, it's a disaster because all you have to do is push this pawn, they go back, you take, now you see what's happening with f5. They're gonna give a check, you go here, but you see this? That's a disaster because I don't see how they can save this position. And this position is so venomous. For instance, you're threatening to win a piece on the next move by playing this. This bishop is totally gone. So they need to create a little window so they can retreat. So they can retreat. But you push. They retreat. Now you take. They take. And then you push again. Now you're opening up the bishop, but the most important is not this. You're creating a square also for your knight. When the knight comes here, you go here. He's going to take the pawn. And now you go to g4. And this position is totally lost. It's -5 already. I can show you a nice variation here. Because you are attacking the bishop. So he defends it. Wow. So he defends it. You increase the pressure along the e file. And you see what the problem is. You open the center. The king is in the center. You want to open the center as quickly as possible, right? He retreats. Now the queen takes. The knight comes here. Now a brilliant move. Honestly, if you can try to find it, I wouldn't. maybe in classical, but in blitz, finding a move like this, bishop f5, sacrificing the bishop like this out of the blue, what it does, it allows you to give a check, and now the king has no good square. For instance, if he goes on d1, check, give me the queen. It's a fork. That's it. But you're going to tell me he can go to d2. But now what happens? The queen is not protecting the knight anymore. You take, end of the game. Next, he's going to move. You're going to pick up this. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. So that's the thing. So already you see that just for them to play a move like this, that looks, honestly, how many people are going to play this move against you? Many. They're not going to understand that you're going to go this, take, f5. They're going to, because you know what they're going to think? They're going to think, yeah, but I have this move, so I can save my bishop. The reality, you can't. Because I can just move and you still have this threat. Even if you create a window, there is f4. It's really, really hard to defend. And then e4, and then the knight jumps in. Okay? So, this is if they play knight e4. But if they know, they're not going to play this. But all this is due, don't forget, to the fact that they played this. I'm going to show you after how they should have played. They could also decide to increase the pressure on e4 and put like this a battery to control actually this square. But here again, g5 and then rook d8. And here there is a trap again. Not this kind of silly traps. I'm showing you real games. If they castle, pretty sure some of you saw it. If you're 2000, you already saw this. If you're 1500 and you're improving, maybe you found it as well. You give basically the rook for the bishop. The queen takes, and now there is a fork. So you're going to get two pieces. 3 plus 3 equals 6. I'm good in math. You're good as well. Better than 5 for rook. So yeah, you're gonna get knight and bishop, and this position is totally winning. So this is if they blunder castle. So they have to retreat the bishop. Right? Now you attack this bishop. You put pressure on this one. You know, it's harder for him to play moves like this now to try to attack your king, because you're going to take and destroy their structure, for instance. They're going to long castle. You're going to play this, attacking this pawn. They're going to defend it, and you're going to get this kind of position that is perfectly fine to play with black. I mean, black is clearly better here. Clearly, you have this kind of push. You're also going to push on the queen side and attack the king. Your pieces are very well placed. So this was if he played here bishop d3. The best move and the main move in this variation is if your friend plays this, because he doesn't want you to pin him, even though the pin is not that big deal, but that's the main variation here. You're gonna castle. You see what I like about this thing, about the King's Indian? First of all, you're gonna play it against so many systems, because I'm sure you don't have time to study chess. So you're gonna play it against like so many things. And you always play the same thing. In your head from now on, if the guy plays d4, that's fine, I play the King's Indian, I don't care. I play this system. I don't pre-move. Please stop pre-moving. It's really, really... You know how many games we lose because we pre-move? And how much your rating would be higher if you don't? Let's not pre-move. I know it's fun. I know, I get it. It's classy in a way. Bishop e2. Now, this is the move that I wanted to show you in this variation. If you're 800, you're fine. You're thinking it's an okay move because anyway you move your pieces more than once in the opening. But usually, as a chess principle, it's not a good thing. But here is very good. What is the point of this? What is the point of moving the knight here? Now the bishop controls this. The knight also controls this square, which means you want to play for this push. Putting pressure straight away in the center. I like this move a lot. And listen, if you're playing against like 700s, even honestly, some people, even 2300 will not know this move. I'm telling you, okay? They will not. So very few people, and that's the reason why I'm asking you to play this. A lot of people study the main line. The main line is c5. And then you go with the queen here. So you play this, they play this, and you go here and you put pressure on b2. The problem is that now so many people actually studied this that they know how to play against. So we need to surprise them. We need to shock them a bit. This kind of move that is knight d7, very few people know how to play it. Now they have several ways to play. Either they castle or they put the knight here, they can play c3. Let's see what happens on castle. You want to push in the center, okay? That's your plan. Obviously, when you push, 1, 2, 3 attackers, same 1, 2, and 3 defenders, so this pawn is fine. Okay, now they have two ways to play. The bishop is attacked, so either the bishop goes here or here, right? Let's say the bishop goes to h2, which is kind of the main move. Here, you're going to put the knight on c6. You're going to increase the pressure against this pawn. You're going to tell me it's fine because, you know, he can just defend it like this, and that's fine. But now you're always going to play like King's Indian style. The spirit of the position is to play with f5. And what you want, ideally, is to push your pawns on the king side. And same here. So, you know what's good about this? People who play the London, they're kind of more positional players. They want calm. They want things like, you know what, don't bother me. I'm just going to maneuver with my pieces. I don't want to be bothered. Problem is, now they're going to play against someone who's an attacker, who's like, you know what, no way. We're not going to the park this weekend. No way. We're going kite surfing. So, knight d2, queen e7. You put your queen here, okay, supporting the center. Now they're going to push on a4. You do the same. You want to contain this kind of moves where they expand. So you see what happens. You play on the king side. They play on the queen side. Okay? Typical King's Indian spirit. By the way, how do you know where you should play in an opening? You know how? You have to look at the most advanced pawn that you have in the position usually. This is how it works. The most advanced pawn usually is where you should play. So where was it here? The most advanced pawn were on the king side. You should play on the king side. This is in general. But this actually, you know what? It works pretty well, this one. What is the most advanced pawn for white? This one, before this move a4. This was the most advanced. You have to play, white has to play on the queen side. Okay? Here, queen e7, they push. Now they retreat the knight, you move the king. You see, you always play this kind of moves because at some point you will want a rook to come here to start bothering them because your plan is going to be pretty simple. You want to push, bring your heavy pieces, attack them, mate them. That's what you want. The knight comes to f6, now they're going to play some moves. You attack, the knight comes. Let me show you how, you know, so you understand the spirit of the position. Basically, you're going to get this kind of structures where your plan here, you're going to push on d5, so you're going to have an amazing, actually, you know what? They're going to be an amazing pyramid of pawn. Like, it's funny because they wanted to play the pyramids of pawns, but look how ridiculous this one looks compared to, you know, this one, whenever you put the pawn actually on d5, you know? It's going to be a real pyramid of pawns. For real, man. This is how you play against a move like h3. Now, they have other ways to play. They can go knight bd2 straight away. So we saw what happens if they play bishop d3. We saw what happens if they play this. They can also play knight bd2. But this, to be honest, doesn't really change. It's just a move order difference. You're still going to play the same way. You're going to castle, put your knight here, play for this push. The knight is going to come here. The queen is going to come here. Always the same. And then you're going to try to push with f5 and expand on the king side. See? Super easy. I think.